So one of them days is a new buddy comedy starring Keke Palmer and SZA. They play these two best friends. They live in this shitty ass apartment in the middle of the ghetto. Their landlord comes by, he demands the rent. Unfortunately, SZA's fuck buddy has spent all of the rent on whatever sort of endeavors he was pursuing, so now they can't pay rent. So now these girls gotta find a way to get the money by the end of the day, otherwise they're gonna be out on the street, while Keke Palmer also has a very important job interview for herself later on at the same time this day. So yeah, not a great day to be the two of them. I saw the trailer for this movie and it did look funny. It kind of looked like that rare January comedy that wouldn't be a complete dumpster fire. Like enough moments in the trailer to make me laugh, to make me chuckle, to make me think, alright, this could be effective. And right out the gate, I will say this, Keke Palmer and SZA, I thought they had great chemistry between each other. Because not only did they really feel like best friends, but I really like the dynamic between the two of them because they are different. On one side you have Keke Palmer, who has a career, who has a job, who sees herself climbing the ladder, who wants to make a better life for herself, who has a plan to do that. And on the other hand, you have SZA, who's the more free-spirited, go with the flow, just, you know, making her way through life, living paycheck to paycheck. It was a dynamic that worked between them. They balanced each other out, if you will. It led to some funny moments and just conversation between the two of them. It's also completely relatable. I'm sure many of us out there, we're really good friends with someone who's on the other side of us in terms of where we stand in life. Some of us might be the more easygoing people who are just fine coasting through life. Others people have a plan and want to really get to a certain point. In a way, those are the people that do gravitate towards each other and become friends because they see each other as balanced. I did also like the format of the story because it would constantly do this thing where like it would show up how much time is left before they have to get the rent money before they're gonna get evicted. I thought that was good. It gave you some perspective into how much time has gone by, how long the story has been going for. It was a surprisingly good use of working the time frame of the story into the movie. I appreciated that. Also, yeah, how's the comedy in this movie? I thought the comedy was pretty effective. There weren't a lot of gut-busting moments in this movie that had me just on the floor peeing myself, but there were moments in this movie where I undeniably laughed. I would say a lot of that goes to the fact that these girls just gotta put themselves through some really ridiculous situations in order to try to get the money. Whether it's applying for a loan, trying to find something on the street that might, you know, provide money to them. And how the fact that they find something that might be able to help them in the long run, but it actually gets them into much deeper shit as time goes on. It's a lot of snowball effect that really goes on. It's like it's really surprising just how much losing the rent money could really fuck things up for these two. It leads to some really ridiculous moments undeniably, but they were moments that were funny. Also, does the movie take the very cliche, alright, they're best friends, they're gonna butt heads, and then eventually they'll come back together and figure their shit out? Yeah, if you imagine the story's gonna go like that, it absolutely does. And it undeniably works for the story. It brings some heart, it makes you reflect on your own friendships here and there, but I mean, it's a trope we've seen in movies a million times over. And that's what I'll say right here. Is this a movie that you're gonna walk out and be like, wow, that was such an original comedy that I've never experienced before. That was like seeing The Hangover for the first time. I mean, it's not. It's a storyline that's definitely been done in some capacity before. It's a trope we've seen in movies a million times over. Also, the movie does make the mistake that a lot of comedies go with, where they take a character or they take a joke and they keep running with something that's, you know, supposed to be funny, and maybe in the beginning it is, but they just keep going with it. I mean, maybe in the beginning it's funny or provides shock value, but when you keep rolling with it, it kind of makes you go, alright, well, I'm kind of over it at this point. Or frankly, it is characters making very silly decisions with their lives that kind of make you wonder, it's like, okay, I can kind of see how you were placed in this position, so sometimes it is hard for you to feel certain sympathy for characters when I feel like the movie wanted you to. I mean, I get it. It fits into certain characters, what their personalities are like, so you understand to a degree why they're doing it, but when they make egregiously dumb decisions, or just not even dumb, but irresponsible decisions, I mean, again, the movie is making that happen for the sake of advancing the plot, and, you know, that's how you know there's a difference between movies and real life. But even still, as a human being, you just can't help but think to yourself, it's like, how can you just be that irresponsible? How can you go and do something like that and not think to yourself, hold on, we're sort of in the clear here, maybe we leave it alone? I don't know, it's some of the illogic in that sense that I just couldn't ignore. So all in all, one of them days, this was a solid comedy. The chemistry between the two leads was fantastic. I bought into their friendship. You feel for them along this journey with the shit they have to go through. A lot of the shit they have to endeavor, the people they encounter, the things they have to do, It brings for some laughs, undeniably so. The friendship trope is a little cliche. It's certainly not the most original comedy you've ever seen in your life. Characters will make decisions that are gonna make you shake your head and make you feel like, oh my gosh, okay, it's for the sake of advancing a story. But in the end, I do feel this is a very enjoyable comedy. I do think it's one that would be a lot of fun and more enjoyable if you watch it with your best friend. You could watch something like this, and then the two of you could think to yourselves, like, what would you do if you were in that situation? How you would handle it? Probably would make situations more funny because the two of you would look at each other and be like, okay, I'm like this one or I'm like that one, and you know, maybe could allow you to bring some more laughs along the way. So yeah, experience this movie with a friend. That's what I would tell you. And with that, it's time to officially implement my new rating system for my channel, and with that, I'm going to give One of Them Days a 6 out of 10, which makes this movie worth watching when it's out on streaming.
Sorry, I'm watching a movie on my iPad.
So that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to make comments, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.